Okay, George, you've been out of coaching for quite a while. You coached for quite a while. As you reflect on your coaching career, what are some of the things that you like the most and maybe miss now? What are some of the things you dislike the most and maybe don't miss now? And what's the current state of coaching compared to when you were in the game?
What I liked about coaching was that an opportunity to have, for you as an individual, to have a positive effect on a young person's life. To most of us who participate in athletics, if someone were to say to you, let's take Michael Jordan. If the question is asked to Michael Jordan, I've heard him respond this way many times, tell us who are the people that had the most influence on your life. Michael's going to say, my mom, my dad, and Dean Smith. If you said to George Raveling, tell me the people that had the most effect on your life, I would say my high school coach, and as an adult, I would include Lefty and John Thompson in there. So that a coach has a unique ability to partner with those young people that he coaches, and to take them by the hands and take them places that they've never been before. He has an opportunity to help them discover skills and talents that they don't realize that they have. He has a chance to motivate them to fulfill the huge potential that they have as individuals. He has a chance to help them fulfill their dreams and aspirations. The biggest responsibility that I think you have as a coach is and sometimes I don't think we stop and really focus on it enough, is that a parent or a relative brings their child to you and they place them in your hands as your responsibility. When you stop and think about it, that mother or that father or that grandmother or that aunt, they've now given you their most prized possession, their child. And what I always felt was they're saying to you, Coach Raveling, I'm bringing you a boy. I want you to send me back a man. I'll never forget when I was recruiting Mark Boyd at USC. And after he signed the letter of intent and I was walking out the door, his mom was named Betty. And when we stopped at the door, Mrs. Boyd looked at me and she said, Coach Raveling, I don't want no foolishness out of you. And I knew what she meant. Hey, I'm giving you my most prized possession. Don't screw it up.
Right.
And so that's a great responsibility that we have. And I think also to help young people understand the importance of balance in their life. Now, what do I mean by that? The balance between academics and athletics. That there's got to be equal value placed upon both of them. And this is a unique advantage that you're going to have over the course of the 4 years. I like to tell the players, if during the 4 years that you and I are together, if all I teach you is how to be a great basketball player, you should have gone somewhere else. You can get that anywhere. I want this to be a unique experience for you. I want us to look back and feel that you're better because you were around me, and I'm better because I was around you. And one of the things that I think that sometimes in coaching we get caught up with is our egos start making us think it's us. Mm-hmm. I look back now and I realize one thing. It was never about me. It was always about them, because that's why you have a job, because of them. Mm-hmm. So I learned some great lessons along the way. What do I miss the most? I miss the camaraderie with the players. I miss watching the players evolve, and from being a kid to becoming a young adult, to becoming a responsible adult. I miss the good times and the bad times that we shared together. I miss the opportunity to teach them and influence them. And the one thing that I think that I look back on now is I taught the players a lot, but the players taught me a lot too. They taught me a lot about myself as a person. They taught me a lot about myself as a coach. I learned a lot from them.
And if they hadn't, you would have failed.
Yeah, and no question about that. And I think sometimes as coaches, we don't realize that when we teach, we learn. And players can teach you a lot about yourself and your frailties. And so that part was wonderful. Today,
How about what you like the least, or what you miss the least?
What I miss the least is
dealing with those summer guys.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I got into coaching before you had to deal with this new culture of summer basketball and that. The thing that, when I look at the coaches today, I think, the salaries are going to be a real danger for them. I think it's siphoned off a lot of motivation today. You don't see coaches taking public stance on different issues today. I think coaches have become too satisfied. I think also there's a lot of groupthink in coaching today.
Right.
What's the popular flavor of the day? Is it pick and roll? Is it the pass and cut? Whatever it is. But I don't see as many characters in the game anymore. I don't see as many maverick thinkers. I don't know. Guys who are willing to stand up against the system and put their careers on the line. John Thompson and I were talking recently, and he brought we concluded one thing, that we were lucky that we came up in the era that we could, because I'm not sure that myself or John or Nolan Richardson or Cheney could have achieved the type of success that we had in this era. It's totally different era. So we're fortunate and lucky that we came along at the time that we did. I think coaches today have it much more difficult than we ever had it, because of the norms and standards of society have changed, and this whole idea of technology and social media. God, I can't imagine that Steve Jobs and Gates and those guys ever realized that they were going to change the way that we live, the way we communicate,
but these new coaches are getting paid.
Yeah, but they're getting paid for it. But that goes back to my whole point. How much money does it take for you to surrender your values? How much money,
and your soul,
and how much money does it take for you to focus only on winning in that? And today, coaches have kind of become rock stars, and all those things might not be bad. I certainly don't want to portray myself as one of those typical guys who, late in his career, wants to suggest that the times were much better when I lived than when you are. It's just it's a total different cultural today than we are. I'll say this: coaches are going to be held more accountable now for how they conduct themselves than they've ever been in the history of college sports. And and with technology being what it is today, it's hard to keep a secret anymore. I've been in meetings where there are highly confidential things being discussed, and people are under the table BlackBerrying messages back and forth. And so you have to be, you've got to measure keenly now what you say, what you do, why you do it and when you do it, because you're just held to different standards today.
Which may be why they don't take stances.
Yeah, and also, and the public has less patience with you than in the old days. There was a time when part of my mentality was that you're better off just telling the truth to the public, because I used to always say, one thing I know about American people is they're forgiving and they're forgetful. I'm not sure that they might be forgiving now, but the forgetful part is tough because of technology today. And the other thing is, with technology today, people have not gotten to the point where they understand that everything that's in social media is an opinion. It's not a fact. And so I grew up in an era where
they're treated as
they treated as facts. When I grew up, what was printed in a newspaper was always accepted as being the truth. Today, what you have is you have a variety of opinions, and people construe them as fact. The other thing is, when I grew up as a kid, you were innocent until proven guilty. Today, you're guilty until you prove that you're innocent.